Hi guys, welcome back to GarageTech. In this video I'm going to show you how to remove your coil packs. If you're here just because you're looking at replacing your coil packs, you might need to go back and have a look at the two previous videos of how to remove the wheel arch liner and then the heat shield to actually get to the coil packs. But for this you will also need a Torx 30 socket. So that's what actually holds the coil packs in place. It's just a Torx 30 bolt. Relatively easy to get to. Just a bit of a recommendation is don't drop them, because if you do they fall down behind the heat shield behind and it's a little bit of a pain to get them out. Okay, so let's get straight into it.
Now with the cover out the way, you can see the coil packs. So there's 1, 2 and 3 there. So because this is bank number 2, this is cylinder 6, 5 and 4 on the end there. Okay. So to actually remove the coil pack itself, all you need is a Torx 30 socket or a screwdriver. Probably use a socket. They shouldn't be too tight because they're only just holding the coil pack in place. And of course what you do need to do is take off the plug. So I recommend you probably do that now whilst you can. So if you just push the clip in and then just lift it up. It's quite tricky with one hand, but it's manageable and not as hard as some other clips. You can see it just lifts off. You just push that up out of the way. Okay. So that's that coil pack ready to come out, and I'll do the same with the others. So again, just a Torx 30 bit. Now, just one word of advice with these Torx 30 screws that you've got here. Whatever you do, don't drop it, because if you drop it, it will fall down behind the cover, the other heat shield, and chances are you'll probably need to remove that heat shield to retrieve it. So just be careful. I'll just unscrew it and try and get the last bit by hand to make sure I don't drop it. I'm going to look like an idiot if I drop it now. So just take your time. That's one out, so you can see they're only short. Okay. Once that's out, the coil packs do come out relatively easy. Just need to give it a nice tug. And there we go. That's the coil pack out. So same process if you want to change the coil packs. That's it. Okay. Now I'm just going to keep them in the right order because I want to make sure I put the ones that I took out back in the right place. I'm just going to go ahead and take the other 3 out as well. So I'm just going to take the plug off first. So I'm just going to get my thumb on the clip, push it in and then lift the plug up. That should just about be enough to get it off now. There we go. And then the same with the last one. Just push the clip in and then just lift the plug up. There we go. Once you've just loosened these, they shouldn't be really tight all the way out, so you can just use your finger. I've just taken the socket off just to help get it towards the end. And as I said before, just be careful you don't drop it. That's another one out. And I'll just pull that coil pack out. So that's cylinder 5. And for the last one on this side, just got a little bit more to go on this screw. Yeah, that's the last one out. And then we can just pull that coil pack out as well. There we go. So that's all 3 coil packs removed on this side. So if you're just replacing the coil packs, nice and simple, just push them back in and away you go. But you might as well change the spark plugs whilst you're here. Okay, now that the spark plugs are all in, you go back and put the coil packs back in. So it's pretty straightforward. You just press them in. You'll feel when they're in place. Just make sure the plug's not caught behind it. Just trying to push it in. And that's it. Just kind of then, you might need to give it a bit of a twist to make sure that the bolt hole lines up. So once they're all in place and they're nice and firmly seated, put those Torx 30 bolts back. Again, just be careful not to drop them. These don't need to be mega tight, just literally nip them up. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and put the connectors back on. It should be pretty straightforward. So you should hear them click into place. There we go. That's it. You can see the 3 coil packs there. So I'm just going to remove the plugs first. Again, I just push the clip in. Sometimes it helps if you actually pull the plug down and then push the clip and then pull it up. That just sometimes helps get it out. This is cylinder 1, so it's cylinder 1, 2, 3, and on the other side is obviously 4, 5 and 6. So it's 1, 2, 3. So that's it, that's the last one out. So now I can just pull the coil packs out. So that's one, that's at cylinder number 3. Number 2. And cylinder number 1. Next is put the coil packs back. So to put the coil packs back in, pretty straightforward. I'm going to start cylinder 1. And just press it in. Just make sure the plug behind is not preventing you from pressing it in. Down, you can feel it when it presses in. And cylinder 2. And just make sure your plug is out of the way. And then cylinder 3. Now we can put the securing bolts back in. Now if you're worried about trying to get it into place with your fingers, because it is quite small, and as I said, you don't want to drop it behind this heat shield, what you could do is either put a little bit of rag in there or a bit of grease, and that just helps kind of the bolts stick and stay in place, and that way then you're not going to drop it, so it just stays on the socket. Obviously depends what sort of socket you've got, but I'll do something like that, put a little bit of rag on there, and it just kind of helps hold it in place a bit firmer, just so you can easily guide it in so you don't lose it. And then of course you just take a little bit of rag out afterwards. Sometimes you might have big clumsy fingers, that just kind of helps. Small tip. And I'll do the same for the last one.
Okay guys, so that was the process of taking the coil packs in and out. Next is part 4, where I'll show you how to take the spark plugs in and out. Okay, see you there.